Welcome back to the channel. We are back on the 32 Ford Coupe. I've sent some shorts out going over some of the stuff that I've gone over, but let me show you where we are so far. Okay, some of this may be redundant because I'm rehashing some of the stuff we're working on wiring still, but let me just go over what we've gotten so far. Practically everything under the hood is done. Let me show you. We've got plug wires run. We've got 2 of the 4 wires to the trinary done. We've got the battery cables, which let me run back here. The battery cables are made, which just a moment I'm going to splice in here how I actually made these, but the battery cables are made, routed to the front. Positive cable to the starter, negative terminal to a ground. Of course, all the cables for the charging system are done, all the cables to the sending units are done, and of course the plug wires are done. In here it still looks like a little bit of a spaghetti mess, but what I've gotten done so far in here is I've gotten the wires to the steering column done. These right here are the gauge wires. I'm getting ready for those. The dimmer switch is wired in. The ignition is wired in. The light switch is wired in, and the horn button is wired in. These wires down here primarily go to the air conditioning unit, which I'm going to start next. This is to the door power windows, so that'll be coming shortly also. I've started routing the wires to the back, and back here you can see that I've gotten holes drilled on both sides to let the wires down through there. I'm waiting on some grommets. I got the wrong grommets in today from Amazon, so I've got to get the grommets before I can feed the wires through there, which are going to wire, of course, the tail lights, the sending unit for the fuel tank, and of course the fuel pump. This is the battery box. It is bolted down and ready to go, and as I noted, I got the battery cables. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show in the video of me making the battery cables. It's a kit that I got that is a painless kit. Let me show you that. This is the battery cable kit I got. What it comes with is it comes with 2 15-foot battery cables, one positive, one negative, that already has the terminals on it. You cut that to fit, solder the ends on it, and of course it also comes with, if you wish to use a side terminal battery, it has the terminals to go into the side terminal. Now, of course, the battery I'm using is the same battery I got for the Cobra, which is the Yellow Top Optima. It has both side and top terminal. I'll know more once I get the battery installed which of those terminals I'm going to use, but it's nice to know that I have the flexibility to use either one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the video that we shot while I was making the cables, just to run through how that's done. Okay, what we're doing here is we're going to be making a battery cable. First thing you got to do is, of course, size the battery cable to the length that you need it. Strip off the ends. This is the terminal end that I have here that's made out of copper. You use these, which are solder pellets, for copper lugs and battery terminal. You take one of the pellets, drop it in, then fire up your torch. Let me take it, pick this up. Until it liquefies the solder. See it melt? And we stick this down in here, like so. Now you see the connection's good. It's still hot, so I don't want to touch it, but the connection is good. Not going to come off. If I wanted to, I could heat it up a little bit more and put it down in there a little bit more. So we've got a good connection. Then we take our heat gun, bring up our heat shrink, like so. Cover it up and give it heat. Let this slowly get some heat to it. See how it's shrinking to it? And just like that, we got a cable. As far as what is next on this is I'm going to route the rear body wires to the tail lights, to the sending unit, and of course to the fuel pump, get those wired up. Then I'm going to finish the under dash stuff. Once that is done, we should be getting dangerously close to firing this up for the first time. Of course, I'm probably going to wait till I get the exhaust put on that car so I can hear the engine run without the headers blowing my ears out. That way I can hear if there's any rattle in the valve train or anything of that nature. It's always a good idea to have the exhaust run when you're doing that. So once I get the wiring done, probably the next step on the 32 will be the exhaust. Be sure and stay tuned, hit like and subscribe, because I am going to get back on the Cobra in the next video or so, start doing body work, get the wiring done on it. Once the dash comes in, hook up the dash and everything, and then put the body back on the frame, finish up the body work, and start getting it ready to paint as well. So lots coming. Be sure and stay tuned.